My defining moment was when I walked into camp for the first time.
My defining moment was when I was at JC last year for the first time.
My defining moment is when I stepped out of my comfort zone my first year of student council.
My defining moment was the gratitude activity that Level 2 did last year.
My defining moment was my first year at camp 3 years ago when I found confidence in my voice the first time I ever went on stage.
My defining moment was when I was in Council W 2 years ago and I learned that everyone has their own story outside of camp.
My defining moment was the first time I sang Tiny Bubbles with my council.
My defining moment in Fulton was my first year here during the Duck Derby.
My defining moment was getting to share the magic of Fulton with my sister and best friend.
My defining moment was coming to camp for the first time, getting out of my mom's minivan. I could feel the hot cement sticking to the bottom of my feet because it was probably 98 degrees. And a whole bunch of crazy people running up to me, and I knew this was a place where I could fit in and get along with everybody.
I'd never been to an MASC event before, and I was kind of nervous.
There was a SOMO athlete named Rachel. She was the ball of energy for our whole council, and anytime anything went bad, she made everyone happy.
I came over to drop my sister off at camp and I saw these whole bunch of crazy people with weird hats on come run our van. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I got real scared. But then I was like, I really want to be like those people who just love life.
It's when I was in Council M on the last Tranquility and I was tealing, crying with all my new friends that I just met.
The time that I really felt like 100% myself and where I could give my opinions and I felt that I was useful, and that was the time that I really think that my entire council came together, and that's especially whenever we became so close.
I remember the girl that said hi to me the first time, and when I realized that I was in the right place, that I could be crazy and be myself.
I was always super nervous, but it showed me that you can just be you.
And when I first got here, I saw my sister being a JC, and she inspired me to be the JC and leader that I am today.
I didn't recognize my defining moment when it happened. My first year at camp was 6 years ago. And even though I was shy, I learned how to open up and talk in front of people.
Not knowing anyone, we all came together and created an outstanding performance, lyrics, and just had a great time and became better friends and people.
Very timid and scared at first because I didn't know anyone. And now I'm proud of myself for reaching out and making lifelong friends with people that were strangers.
Ideas were flying everywhere, people's heads were getting crazy, but everyone wanted to take charge and really didn't know what to do, and people were screaming and yelling at each other. But then after a while there was this awkward silence, and then we just started laughing, and it was really funny because we just realized that we were stressing over something that was supposed to be fun.
Council and I played the hot seat, and I was asked what my biggest fear was, and I replied with cotton balls. Everyone accepted my crazy, bizarre fear, and I learned to be open with my council and everyone else in my life.
While playing the game, I thought it was about using strategy and teamwork, but once I stepped away, I realized the deeper meaning that it was actually about sacrifice.
It showed me that leadership is something to be truly excited about, and since then I've stepped out of my box and my comfort zone to be the strong leader that I am today.
For me, I know that I like things done a certain way and in a certain time period, but as we all know, you can't do everything on your own. And trusting others to do their work and do their part is a key part to being a strong council and a strong person.
Before Fulton, I used to be shy and scared to talk to anyone. 2 years after the best week of my life, and here I am, unafraid to be my crazy self. I read my magic note from my JC, and he had just described the potential that he saw in me. This moment just made me realize what potential I had to leave like a legacy on my school.
And it was just a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, and getting to see so many other people at Fulton so excited about it and so supportive about it was just absolutely incredible.
Warm Fuzzies really made me realize that I had an effect on other people and other people cared about me too.
But now I realize, like looking back on it, I should have been okay, and that there is a right way to handle being upset.
I was scared to death, but I did it. I faced my fear and I'm stronger for it. Thanks to those 2 minutes of courage, I can do anything now.
It really helped me when I was just doing small things like singing the songs with everybody. I've never been really one to participate in the crowd and do stuff that everybody else is doing, but here I just kind of opened up.
About halfway through we realized that we couldn't do the activities without each other, so I realized that you're going to need other people to do something that you want to do.
I just remember sitting back and just observing everyone and realizing that being a leader is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about being in charge. A really good quality of being a leader is being able to follow as well.
When I realized that sometimes you don't always have to be in charge.
We did an activity where we had to write a letter to someone who's really influential in our lives, and then we had to call them and read it to them. After I called my person,
I learned that showing gratitude, it made me feel great inside, and it made me feel happier, and it just showed me the importance of giving thanks and showing gratitude.
In that moment, I went from this reserved person to open-minded and excited to learn new things, and that was my defining moment.
It's because I realized that everyone's different opinions can really come together, and sometimes it makes it difficult, but in the end, it ends up making a really good product and everything works out.
And I started to realize the potential I had in myself.
So thank you, MASC, for the amazing friendships you have given me.
After spending my first year here and seeing how much we accomplished working together, I just knew implicitly that I was with a special group of people. Smart, beautiful, compassionate people on whom I could rely to do anything. Fulton showed me that trust is worth the risk, and in a way, that restored my faith in humanity. That's my defining moment.
My defining moment would have to be when I realized that here at Fulton, I can just be myself. No one here is trying to judge you, and they just want to know the real you. Fulton has made me forever more comfortable with who I am, and that was my defining moment.